Hi guys, welcome to Haley's Comment. It's Haley, your favorite CT Tech. Thanks for watching my channel. Today you're watching video 4 out of 5. These are my healthy tips for night shifters working as a healthcare professional. The first video was all about how to get good sleep in the day so that you could be the best during the night. The second video was all about my diet and nutrition tips. The third video was all about exercise and physical health. And this video is all about time management, work-life balance, and stress handling. So let's jump right into it. Follow these tips so that you can be happy in a job that keeps you up all night. With night shifts, you gotta realize that there are fewer doctors on the floor ordering, and orders are only given whenever really needed, which is nice. You're gonna notice that in the daytime, there are watchers and doers, and in the daytime, you see a lot more watchers. Watchers being the management. You'll also notice if you work nights that parking and traffic is a lot less hectic. And let's not forget about that shift diff. If you don't know what shift diff is, go look it up because it's awesome. Another thing about nights is that help is less easy to find at night when you need it. But today, I'm gonna talk to you about how you can time manage on your nights and days off so that you can lead a better than average life on your nights on. Can I just say, night people are the best. They work with the most camaraderie and teamwork because they have less resources. With fewer people around, that means you get the job done with a little more efficiency and less distractions. And let me just tell you, nurses are your greatest allies. They are wonderful resources. Which brings me to my first tip. Don't be selfish and don't refuse to help a coworker. Collaborate on a difficult task with a coworker in less time than it would take to do the job yourself. This is how you accomplish things faster with greater efficiency. My next tip, if you're a nurse, don't save charting to the early morning because anything can happen. The goal is to be as done as possible when the next shift arrives. My next tip is to stay connected to the waking world. So you can join classes like yoga and Tai Chi. My next tip is to make sure you rest at least 4 hours when you come home working nights. Another thing to consider if you're working nights is when you're looking at your schedule, you need 2 nights off in order to have 1 day off. Or you can see about working half the shift, or else you'll be tired when you go into work. Next tips have to do with scheduling life around work. When you're trying to make a doctor's or dentist appointment, it's going to be easiest to do it first thing in the morning after you get off work instead of waiting until noon. So do it right after you're done with your shift. If you're a night worker, unfortunately, you're usually scheduled nights, weekends, and holidays until you gain seniority at most places. So you'll get less than desired shifts. And just as a disclaimer, working nights, it'll seem like at first that you're getting less time off than a day shifter throughout the week. The perks about night shifts is that you can get stuff done during the slower days of the week. There's less crowds. There's going to be places that are only open during regular business hours and you get to go, like doctor's appointments and servicemen trying to come over to fix your dryer, all that stuff. When you're working 3 nights in a row, you usually don't have a lot of time in between to do anything besides work, sleep, eat, repeat. But the upside to that is sometimes you can have 4 to 7 days in a row without having to go to work, and you're going to be off without having to take PTO. And something else you need to know is that nights aren't forever. Nights can be a very temporary job if you don't like them after a while. If you smell or see something gross, then you can wear 2 masks with toothpaste in between to keep facial expressions and smells at bay. You could even put some Vicks under your nose. If you get queasy looking at blood, pack some crackers in your pocket. Keep them on hand so that you can keep yourself from feeling nauseous. You get to give people a little bit more of their dignity and control back for making them feel more human. So it kind of makes the nasty and icky a little more worth it. So my next tip has to do with time management. Flexible little routines can decrease stress by increasing daily predictability. Examples could be like laundry on Tuesday, or exercise at 7 p.m., or shower at 9 p.m. Another tip is to remember your schedule, and you don't need to be rigid. Create short lists for today, but don't go beyond the weekend. My next tip is to say out loud what you're grateful for each day. My next tip is to prepare for the day. Take 10 minutes in the morning to prepare for the next day. Write down meal plans and pack your lunch ahead of time. Pick out clothing, set out shoes, put items you need in one place. My next tip is to call or arrange meetings with positive and or funny friends on your day off. My next tip is to enjoy the little things. Slow down and enjoy the moment you're in. Focus on the details of your everyday activities. My next tip is to start to single task. By focusing one thing at a time, you will become more efficient and feel less overwhelmed. My next tip is to seek the advice and support of friends, family members, and anyone else to help you cope. And consider seeing a therapist or counselor if life is feeling overwhelming. And let's not forget, if you only have to work 3 12s in a week, that means that you don't have to go to work 5 days a week, you only go 3, saving you money on gas. If you want to manage stress, maybe consider petting a dog. You can study the practice of yoga or Tai Chi to energize and relax the body at the same time. You can do it before or after your shift. My other tip is to get a good day's rest. You can watch my first video, which I can leave a link to down below. I share all kinds of tips on how to get good rest in the day when it's not typically the norm. My next tip is to get your days set right. You want to set a routine. You want to shower and get ready to wake up before work. My next tip is to keep your social contact alive. Find time with loved ones whose wake time overlaps. For me, it was Taco Tuesdays with friends at night, or going to the gym in the morning after I get off work. Somebody to hold you with accountability. Another thing you can do is to do things with people with the same sleep cycle. My next tip has to deal with boundaries. Remember, your priority is to get sleep. Even if friends don't stop bothering you, have patience with the outside world. The truth is, they probably won't understand the night shift life, but they only text, visit, and call because they love you. So there you have it. These are just some of the ways I personally have been able to manage a work-life balance and manage my stress and time while working nights. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for my next video where it's going to be all about mental health for the healthcare worker that stays up all night long. Comment down below if you found these tips helpful. And until next time, like Haley's comment, I am out.